Hello and welcome to ShrubSMP Season 7. This is episode 22. We are getting started today right here in the blacksmith shop because we are going to upgrade our armor. And we're probably going to upgrade a couple of our tools as well with the gift of the netherite ingots that we got at the end of last episode with the smithing template. And what you need to do is you need to head on here into the blacksmith shop. We just so happen to have a smithing table right here where we're going to go ahead and use those gifts and our armor to combine them with the smithing template into the upgrade. So to do this, all you really have to do is just follow the pattern here. It looks like you need a smithing template. You put one in there, and then you can put one of the items. We'll start with the hat, and we'll put in a netherite ingot. And sure enough, there it is. We get our upgraded netherite hat. And we'll do the same for all of the others. And we get the advancement Cover Me in Debris, which means, as we can see right here in the advancement, get a full set of netherite armor, or suit of netherite armor, if I could read the instructions. But then all you have to do is put it all on, and now we are decked out, ready to go with the powerful and fully upgraded armor. And I also think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and upgrade, at the very least, our pickaxes, because those are important for durability. We want to do our sharpness sword so that we can add a little bit of attack damage to it. And we still have one left. Now what you don't want to do, let me say this right now, is you don't want to consume your last smithing template, because then it's gone forever. Now what you can do is you can duplicate them, which I had already done. That's why I had so many. And I actually still have some in my ender chest, so this won't be the last one, but I just want to throw that warning out there in case anybody was thinking of doing it or was afraid that I was about to do it. Oh, I already know what we're going to do. If you saw it first, comment down below if you think you know what I'm going to enchant next, because you would be right if you'd say it was the diamond hoe, because there should be another advancement if I remember correctly. Yes, there is, and it's called Serious Dedication, which is using a netherite ingot to upgrade a hoe and then reevaluate your life choices. And I'm certainly going to reevaluate mine now that I have this netherite hoe. But now that we've done all the upgrading, I can see by my clock it's nighttime, so we're going to just go ahead and throw our bed down, sleep for the night, and then head on outside and probably head back to the Dark Castle location, where we are going to talk about what's happening in today's episode. Well, alright, now that we're back at the Dark Castle, it's time to talk about what's next on the agenda, and that is a rocket making machine more accurately, that I intend, and we're going to go ahead and build and put right about here, where right now this little collection mechanism is from the gunpowder that's being collected by that creeper farm way up in the sky, is falling down and getting collected in this chest. And we also have, of course, the big industrial sugarcane farm down there, that machine that's collecting sugarcane, and will be dispensing it down this pipe into that chest. Now, the next thing we want to do is have that sugarcane over there combined with this gunpowder over here, right about where I'm standing, in a new little small wing to the Dark Castle, where we'll build this machine. We'll probably put it right about here, right on the inside. It's not all that large. We'll be able to put the redstone just in here and have some little fun mechanics. Now, of course, why do we need rockets? Well, because now that we have our netherite armor, we want to start thinking about that dragon fight. And to be able to do the dragon fight, we have to access the end dimension. And to do that, I have to unlock it on the server, because it's currently locked so that no other players can enter before we're ready. Now, we're going to be able to do that, and at the same time, I want to upgrade the server to version 1.21.4, which is the current version of Minecraft. It'll also open up some new biomes and some new materials for us to use and explore. And we'll be able to have our end dragon fight, which means that once we complete that and be able to go off end city raiding and get ourselves some elytra, so we can fly around the server making use of these rockets that we're going to create this rocket farm today for, and travel to distant lands and find some of those new biomes and the creaking and all of the things that are involved with version 1.21.4. But it's time now to get down to business, and the first thing to do is we have to go down here by this chest and start to dig out and plan a trench where a waterway can have this sugarcane going from here all the way down and connect up to the right spot. We already started, like, at least the right direction, but we're going to have to map out be able to figure out right underneath where we want this waterway of sugarcane to be able to then go to a bubble column that'll shoot it up in the air so that we can then enter it into the machine that we're going to build and combine it with that gunpowder. So I'm going to start mapping things out, doing some maths, taking some notes, and then we'll be back in just a few moments with the progress update. Alright, so I have dug a trench out from the sugarcane farm over there and over to where the sugarcane will be popping up, should be popping up right here on the inside, that we are going to have it coming up in a water stream and coming over. We're going to go ahead and build the machine first, and I'm going to kind of do this step by step, and really right off the bat, this is not that complicated of a machine. It really involves locking hoppers and unlocking them at the exact right time to feed items into these auto crafters. Now, this is the most standard. Right now, you got the auto crafter being fed by a hopper, which is where the gunpowder is coming from. The next thing you would want to do is also feed the paper into that. But to make paper, we have to make paper. So that's going to be coming from this crafter, spit out through the middle into that one, and that means that we only need a hopper in my inventory to be able to feed it right across. So it will come from this crafter through that hopper and into this guy, where then we'll set a recipe here. We'll already kind of get the positions ready for one of each. That will make rockets. The rockets will spit out and we'll create a little collection system right here. Now, flipping around to the backside, all we have to really do is to get started by getting a little bit of a directional detector, powering and depowering a little operation here. To do that, we just have to put a block that will help power the crafter, and then now, if we go ahead and put a comparator, just like that, yeah. So now it's going to work with the hopper to detect when something's in there, and it will shoot a signal out the back, of which we'll put it into another block. And then underneath, we can have a return signal this way in a few moments when we get the rest of this thing set up. Let's see, next step is going to be setting up a little bit of a hopper clock, although it's not actually going to be setting any time. The way this hopper clock is designed is to really just exchange an item, but only when it's unlocked. And that will help trigger the rest of the system. And to get that going, we really just have to stick another hopper in there. We're going to throw some redstone dust on this one in the corner. And then from there, get ourselves another block that will be set up with a dual observer over here on the side in just a moment once we get it in place. And put that guy here, and there it is. So see how it kind of rounds the corner? Both torches are on, but because if we stick one item into that guy, it will, when the powering occurs, it will exchange that item back and forth once and then kind of time the system just correctly. And speaking of timing the system correctly, we have to then throw a way to detect that this hopper in the middle is being exchanged as well. That's going to create a redstone signal that's going to unlock that hopper and change that torch and do the whole thing there. And I think the last thing to do then is to get the observers involved. It will face this direction. And now by facing out, we want it to see that this observer is getting the power from that guy, and then really this signal actually isn't going to go anywhere. This just helps the downward detection that changes the state of that observer. Last thing to do, if I have my thoughts together, is to get this detection in place, which is to be that direction. We have this on there, we have that on there. We're going to go ahead and put a hopper on top. This is where the sugarcane is going to come in once we set up the water transport that's going to be coming out of this hole right adjacent to it. I think that's about most of the setup. Then we have to just kind of prime the system and then get to work putting the water transport in place. Alright, so the next step is going to be create the bubble column for the sugarcane, and we'll just work backwards here. We'll actually go all the way down to the bottom, and this is where that's that tunnel that goes back to the sugarcane farm. We just really need to put a block of sandstone to create the bubbles. Half slab there, and block the wall so that the water can pull up underneath from the other side. Throw the ice at the bottom, of course, to have those items slide across, and now we just have to kind of go back to the top. And because I'm stuck down here at the bottom of this hole, I'm actually going to have to use the home command and go back to the top. And here we are. But now that we're up here, we can just go ahead and put the water down to the bottom, and we can go ahead and do the kelp trick, as always. Place. Knock them all off, and we should go flying up in the air. Woo, there we go. All right. Now, that's just to get the thing started. So we're going to have to go to the other side, and where we've dug the trench and put the waterways every 7, 8, 9 blocks, depending on how the angles work out, and meet up on the other side. All right, so I'm going to get started doing that, and like I said, it doesn't really take, basically the same principle. We go out so far, we go ahead and put the ice, we put the slab, and we put a new water source and continue on with our lives until we get to the other side. We're going to keep doing this all the way, and then we'll see you when we meet up with that bubble column. All right, well, we've got the waterway around the corner all the way up to this last little bit, and we'll place the last piece of water and have it go right there. We'll throw a slab and catch it on the other side. Once again, we're stuck down here, so it's time to use our home command. All right, so now that we have the bubble column in place, all we have to do is put a little bit of piping so that we can have it come up. Oh, there's our slab. Go up and across and into this hopper, and that is where all that sugarcane is going to be coming up and getting turned into paper. And I think to do that, we're going to keep with the theme of those red pipes that we made last time, just behind me there. We're going to make a little red pipe out of those trapdoors right here also. All right, so now to set up this piping, I'd like to use whole blocks to kind of outline the thing. Go ahead and just stick the trapdoors against there. So that's going to be the main body of the pipe, and we'll have one up here. So we're going to go ahead and use a stairs right underneath, and there it goes. So now if we clear out those temporary blocks, we'll see that there's a little opening that will lead us back down. Ooh, boy, that was close. I almost made a major error around redstone with water, which is not what you want to do. This is actually not high enough. We need to get it to go up one more so it actually flows across. See how right now it's flowing below? It needs to flow across into that hopper. So we just throw up another one and fix this thing up, and then we'll be all ready to go. All right, that's more like it. So now all we got to do is throw some water in and not have it go all over the place, and we will be ready to start bringing the sugarcane over. So remember, against the wall, not against the trapdoor. There it goes down and over, and the bubbles should be coming up as soon as I get a water source in there. All right, so last thing to do is to prime this thing up, and then we'll test it. To do that, we are going to first put full sugarcane in the recipe maker here, and it's going to continually make paper. The paper will shuffle across once all the activations are in order, and into this, where we have a stack of gunpowder, and once the paper starts filling in here, it will be almost ready to go. The paper will continue to accumulate until it's a full stack, and or one more gunpowder starts to filter in from the top, and as soon as it's full, it activates everything and we'll start spitting out rockets. So to test it, let's head on down and get some sugarcane flowing down through this waterway. Throw a little bit of sugarcane in the dropper. The dropper starts to drop them down this pipe, and the pipe, of course, goes through the waterway one at a time. There they go. And as we make our way in, any second now, they should be hopefully flying and shooting up in the air. Oh, there goes some of them. And, of course, uh-oh, that's a problem. Oh, God, that was really scary. Oh, man. Thank goodness that it holds in place. Because I have a trapdoor against here, it's actually activating every time that one gets crafted. Fortunately, I can fix that. Extra fortunately, it's not getting water all over the place. But anyway, so yeah, we're crafting paper every time that happens, and once a paper's crafted, it goes in here, and then it starts to fill in. And like I said, once this fills up, this should all stop. And it did. And now that it's all stopped, we have to just put some gunpowder. I still have some left over from the chest. We'll stick it here in this hopper, and we should get rockets. There we go. Yes, it works. Success. Little bit of a mishap along the way. Thank goodness it just didn't get water everywhere, but as we can see, we got the rockets going. So now all we have to do is feed this into a collection system, clear out the sand over there, and we probably will be done with our little rocket collection, and then just have to make a little bump out here on the building to hide everything behind. All right, now I think we got just about everything done. We have we got the red pipe on the inside, and I've used copper again on the outside, just like we talked about for the recirculation thing that I haven't done on the storage area just yet. But we're gonna have copper piping up here, like going into a multi-chest sorting system. Well, at least a distribution system, because there's gonna be lots of rockets produced here, and this way they'll all just get filtered down to the bottom and hopefully not back up too bad by the time we grab them. So all that's left to do is to build a little bump out here, and I think we're going to do that in the form of a building time lapse so that we can get ready to wrap things up before we hit the end of this episode. So let's get building. All right, well, as you can see by the time lapses, I got a little ambitious, and since I had mentioned this redistribution pipe, recirculation pipe that is, I went ahead and built it because we still had plenty of copper around, so we've got that in place, and I'll have to put the water in it and get it circulating through my collection system later. But before we wrap up this episode, I have just been informed that there is a major disaster occurring on the server right this very second. There is a wither that is on the loose back somewhere near spawn. There's one of the server mates, K-pop's base, is nearby and allegedly underground. They are stuck trying to get their stuff back because of our Graves edition, not to mention that there is a wither on the loose. That's right. So I'm going to go back there and see what we can find out because it's time to strap up and get ready for battle. All right, let's see what happens now. All right, so I'm here now. Now, K-pop's base is in that direction, and I believe it's right over that hill. All right, here we go. Now, it's kind of funny. I put the netherite at the beginning of the episode on the sharpness sword, but for a wither's part of the undead population, and we're going to have to use the smiter sword. Still diamond, but of course, it's smite 5, so it's going to have the most effectiveness against that wither. Well, there's the base. Where's the wither? All right, let's see if I can smite this thing. Oh, okay, I see. Now here, here's his bed. Now he's getting shot up like crazy. We're gonna be close. I'm imagining it's gonna be down here somewhere. Okay, here's the bar. Oh, and we got a child. I've slayed the child. Okay, I hear the wither. Now let's see if I can get it. There it is. We're firing away. We're firing away. Don't let it get too far. Oh, I don't hope. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I'm getting attacked. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. All right. All right. All right. Regroup. Eat the steak. Destroy the monsters. Go back up and fight the wither. Oh my gosh. I've withered away. That's not good. We're in trouble, gang. Alright, I was getting a little lost. Now I've got a bed, and now I have to get down there and try to get my stuff from my grave and destroy this wither and survive the... Oh my goodness. Alright, we're gonna start by sticking my bed just out here because I don't have a lot of life left in me. Alright, where is my grave? Alright, here we go again. We're fighting it. We're fighting it. We got hitboxes on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, gosh. Keep fighting. Never surrender. Now I can't hit it. Oh, gosh. I'm stuck in a rock. Are we going to die? Are we going to die? Please, please. Just hold on just a little bit longer. All right. Back for round 2. So close. Come on. Oh, God, it was so close. We did it. We did it. We did it. And I withered away and I'm dead. We did it. Oh, thank God that's over. All I have to do now is go down there and get my darn stuff. What a mess and a wild time. Woo! Oh my goodness, goodness. Where's my grave? Where's my grave? Where's the grave? There we go. Woo! Back to normal. Light the stuff up. Oh my goodness gracious. We did it. Oh my gosh. That was some unexpected excitement. But, woo! We'll gather our bearings and get ready to see what happens next. Whew. All right, we're all safe and sound back at home with our ever-growing cat population over here in the storage area. We now have everything in place that we were intending to get done this episode, plus a little bit extra with that fight. And now, I think that's about time where we're going to wrap things up. Well, if you learned a little something about redstone crafting or just enjoyed your time here today, please feel free to leave a like on the video, and if you want to follow along with all my progress, please consider subscribing. But that is about where we're going to wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next episode.